What's going on, guys? Welcome on back to Matt DIY. So today we got a review video for you, and typically I like to do these reviews on products that I think are really great and want to share with you all in case you're looking for something similar. So I thought I'd do one here on a recent purchase I have made. A lot of you know that recently, in the past year or so, I moved to some more land, which means I needed a piece of machinery to take care of that land. And to do that, I purchased a new zero turn, a very large one. But I wanted to give a review on it because I am thoroughly impressed with the thing. And I wanted to share with you my thoughts. Alrighty, folks, the wind is not cooperating with us today, so we got to film out here in the garage. But in front of me, I have the Ferris ISX3300 zero turn mower. This is a 2021 model. And guys, this thing is an absolute monster of a mower. I gotta tell you what, this thing cuts some grass. If you got a lot of grass to cut, I would highly recommend this mower, and probably don't need to watch any rest of the video, I guess, because I kind of just spoiled my thoughts there. But I'm going to go around and tell you the features that I like and things like that, and a little more about it so you have a better overview of this thing. But what I can tell you is that this is a hoss of a mower, and I am very impressed with how it works. So this is the 72-inch deck model, and I believe you can find it in 52, 60, and 72. And the reason, guys, there's a lot of mower brands out there, a lot of different models, all kinds of things you can purchase and spend your money on. But I came to this sort of by accident, but not totally. So before this, I had a smaller yard, and I was mowing with a 61-inch Simplicity Citation. And that was a really nice mower. I really enjoyed it. Great cut quality on the Simplicity. Can't say enough good things about that mower. And I also liked that it also had the suspension like the Ferris does here. And the reason is because Briggs & Stratton owned both Ferris and Simplicity, and so they, kind of made them pretty similar. This is pretty much a Simplicity with red paint as far as I've heard. However, I really like that mower, so when I was looking for a new one, I knew I wanted the suspension, and I knew I needed something powerful, and I knew I needed something that could mow a lot of grass and do it quickly. And guys, I'm here to tell you, the first review portion of this, I can mow my 8 acres in about 2 hours, just over 2 hours with this thing. And that to me is pretty dang incredible. So let's walk around, talk about the features of it, and let you know what you can expect from one of these. Now, this one's a few years old. I know there have been some upgrades, different models over the years. I've also heard some things about poor cut quality, and I've also seen that it doesn't affect the 72-inch deck. I would agree. I've never had any issues with the 72-inch deck. As long as you have good sharp blades that are straight, this thing cuts really nice. In fact, I just cut the lawn recently, and you can kind of see, it's probably hard to tell on video, but you can kind of see how it came out. This is cut down to 3 inches. If I cut a little bit higher, you'd see some stripes. But the cut quality on this is not an issue whatsoever. So I can get the 8 acres done in about 2 hours, which is awesome for me. And that's one of the main things I love about it. You can mow at about 14 miles an hour, I believe it is, with this. I hardly ever go quite that fast because it's hard to control. And if you have higher grass, you're not going to get the best cut. But it can do that if you want to mow it that quickly. But starting at the front here, guys, and please disregard the lights. I actually added those afterwards, so those do not come originally on the mower. If you're interested, though, I can drop a link down below for those. They actually fit really nicely on here. I put 2 back there on the bar, and then 1 up here in front, and a little switch right there on the side. That all comes with it. So if you're interested in that, I will put a link down below for that. However, starting in the front here, you've got a nice suspension. You've got dual rods on each side for plenty of support there. The tires are air pressure tires. You can get run flats if you need them, but I don't have any issues with the air tires. And everything is pretty much greasable. Now, personally, I prefer to not grease that often. Like, I would like something that just has sealed bearings that you don't have to grease, but Then again, there's the other folks that'll say, you know what, it's nice to be able to grease stuff because it'll last longer. So I don't mind throwing grease on it, just personal preference. I would like sealed bearings and things like that. But this one is greasable, so take that as you will. So we'll walk around here. You can see that the deck has foot pads where you can step up on it if you need to get on and off the mower, which makes it nice and easy. And it doesn't hardly flex. I'm 250 pounds, and it doesn't hardly flex when you get up on that thing at all. You've got greasable zerks on all of the main spindles, which is really nice. And you can take this nut loose right here in the center, and that will release this foot panel. You can access all your pulleys and things right there. Nice and easy to service. No issues there. Coming around the side, you got your first gas tank. These will hold about 5.5 gallons each, I believe, for a total of 11 gallons, which is also really nice. The Simplicity I used to have only held about 5 gallons, so every time I mowed, I had to fill up. Whereas this time I can fill it. It'll last a couple mows, 2-3 mows, before I got to worry about it. Tires are pretty standard in the back. Oh, let's touch on this seat, guys. This is one of the main, this is one of the pinnacle reasons why I wanted to get this mower. So, I mean, this seat, I'm going to go up here just so you can see in real time what happens. So when I sit down, if I can bounce, right? It has so much comfort. And you basically have an adjustment knob here where you can adjust your weight, and it'll adjust the spring-loaded function to that. You also have your seat belt, side armrest, of course. You can move it front, back. You can also adjust the, I guess, the lumbar backward and forward, which is nice with that little knob on the side there. So a lot of features for adjustment on the seat, so you can mow all day in comfort if that's what you need to do, and you will have no problems. Most people who purchase this are probably going to be your commercial lawn care folks, right? But I just happen to be a homeowner with a ton of grass I need to mow quickly because I got other time to spend on so many different things that I wanted something I could mow fast, quickly, comfortable, and it's going to produce a nice result, and this is the mower to do that. So that's the seat, very cushiony, spring-loaded. You can move it all sorts of ways to your comfort, and that is really nice. You can also adjust the handles. So I've got them adjusted really nice to where I can sit down. I can have my arms in the armrest and barely have to move too far. And I can adjust the mower. You know, I can steer the mower just fine with those. So definitely a cool seat and definitely a ton of adjustments. You can even adjust the headrest up or down if you'd like to. All right. Talked about the gas tanks. You've also got an adjustment here for left or right. As far as the gas, when one's getting low, you can switch it to the other one. Kind of wish it was automatic, but you know, it's not a big deal to reach behind you and switch that over. I've also got a fuel filter right there that I changed recently, so always make sure you have a fresh fuel filter on there. Getting back to the powerhouse of this entire unit, this right here is the Briggs & Stratton Vanguard EFI 37 horsepower. So guys, before this, I've never owned a motor that was fuel injected, right? I've always had the carbureted engines. I think the biggest I had was a 27 horse Vanguard. So this is the 37 fuel injected with the oil guard system. And I can't say enough good things about this so far. So this mower is new to me this season, but I've mowed about 5 times with it. I want to make sure I got the full feel of it before doing a review. And you see, I didn't even clean it because I wanted you guys to see I've been using and mowing with this thing. So this is the 37 horse Vanguard engine, and guys, the power. This thing has a ton of power. As long as you have sharp blades, you can mow close to full speed with this and just knock out the grass in no time at all. It doesn't really bog down. It is easy to start because of fuel injection. There's no choke to mess with, anything like that. Real nice. Highly, highly recommend the Vanguard. The folks, in my opinion, over at Briggs & Stratton really knocked this one out of the park. I mean, it is just a ton of power, fairly fuel efficient for what it is. I mean, it burns about the same or a little bit less fuel than my 27 horsepower did. So very good on that regard, and I can't really say enough about the power. It is awesome. This thing glides across the grass like nobody's business, and it's not even super loud. I feel like it's quieter than some of the other engines I've dealt with, so really cool there. And the oil guard too. I mean, not only is this going to keep your engine cooler, but you also only have to change the oil every 500 hours, which is amazing. Real convenient oil dipstick. You just pull it right up if you want to check where you're at. And you can see I got plenty in there. Push it back down. Your oil filter is right here. So when you have to do an oil change, it literally takes like 5-10 minutes and you're back up and running. It's got a nice convenient oil drain right there that you can put a bucket under and drain the fluids out, no problem at all. So that's all super nice. So Vanguard 37 horse, definitely recommend. I believe they're coming out now though on the ISX3300s. I think they're coming out with the 40 horsepowers. Don't get me wrong, but I'm pretty sure that that's the case. But I can't see that it would have a ton more power than this one. I mean, this one is definitely sufficient and has plenty of power. Coming over here, we got the second gas tank. We got your hour meter. This one in particular has about 475 hours. That's engine run time. You got your PTO, you got your key, basically on, off, start, pretty simple. I added this is for my lights. So that's all that switch is there. And then you've got your throttle. Now, I don't know, I've heard bad things about the electronic throttle. This one still has the cable throttle, which is nice. Don't ever have to worry about it not working. But I have heard some downsides about the button. And I think in the new ones, they might have even went back to that. I'm not 100% sure. Hey, we got a little buddy there. But just to let you guys know, this one does have the regular throttle. You might see mixed reviews and mixed setups on those. Another gas gauge over here as well, and they're pretty accurate, I've found. They actually will show you you're empty a little bit before you are, so if you run it dry, you'll have plenty of room to get you back to where you need to go to fuel up. All right, coming around the side, we've got the deck adjustment. So it goes in 1/4 inch increments. You can see here, just get the main inch marking on the right, like 2, and then all the way up for each increment towards the left, and you just put your pin in where you want it. I know this says 3.5, but measuring the blades to the ground, that actually mows at about 3. So I don't know if that's deck adjustment or what, but that's how I know I'm at 3 inches. Always measure your blades and the height that they are with the height you want to cut, and make sure that that's where you want it. But nice adjustments all the way from, looks like 1.5 inches all the way up to 4 3/4. So pretty wide range there. Don't think that'll be an issue, and it's pretty easy. You just have that foot thing there, and you use your foot to raise and lower the deck. The 72, not gonna lie, is heavy, so you got to put some leg into it to get it to lift. But I mean, that's to be expected. You've got a big 72-inch fabricated deck under you. You know, you're gonna expect some weight there to get the deck adjusted. And then one of my favorite parts, and I touched on it a little bit at the front of the mower, but the springs and the suspension is awesome. So this suspension here with these arms are actually connected to the suspension back here. And you can kind of see where that happens right in there. And that allows for everything to flex, including the deck. Now again, some people might not like that because if you've got a real bumpy yard or something like that, it may affect your cut quality a little bit because your deck might be lowering and raising just a tad. Personally, I haven't noticed much of that, and I even think it's beneficial because when you're on a hill or something like that and it's uneven, this allows the deck to adjust kind of to the hill and the contour of the hill to mow a little bit better, in my opinion. And it takes a lot of the rough ride off the driver. I mean, sitting on this thing is like sitting on your couch. I mean, it literally, or if you're a truck driver, you're familiar with like an air ride seat. That's what it feels like riding this thing. It is probably the most comfortable mower I've ever been on, and that's what Ferris is known for. So, you know, if you want that, Ferris is probably definitely one to look at. So, trying to think what else. I think that is the majority of it. Again, this is the ISX3300. This is the largest gasoline model that Ferris makes, the 72-inch with the Vanguard. It is the largest. Larger than this, you'd be in the diesels and things like that. I didn't want to get into that. And this is more than sufficient for my yard to get it done. Like I said, about 8 acres in just over 2 hours is incredible for me. And it's a pleasure while doing it. You do have your 3 deck wheels on the front, nothing in back, but you can get a striping kit if you want. Mowing at a higher level with this, probably like 4 inches and higher, you'll get some natural striping on its own. So I don't know if you really need a striping kit unless you're trying to make it look like a golf course or something like that. But for me, I'm just getting the grass cut and it comes out great. So that's really about it. Like I said, I'll put the lights down in the description if you're interested in those. If you have any questions or things like that, let me know on this mower, but I think I covered just about everything. One more thing I'll show off, guys. You can actually get under the seat here. So I'm going to try to do this one-handed. Oh, it's heavy. And you got easy access to your fluid reservoirs, which is nice, as well as your battery, both hydros, and then the hydro oil containers as well, and all your various adjustments and connections and things like that if you need to get to them. And Ferris is nice and put a nice parts list right there for you with part numbers in case you need blades, belt, things like that. It's all there for you, and what type of oil the hydraulic oil takes as well is there too. So everything's real convenient and easy to access. And I was able to route my wires for the lighting through here, no problem. That really wasn't an issue. I can see some grass collects there on the fans, but you know, probably easy to get in there and yeah, pull that right out of there if needed. But yeah, just a really nice and easy serviceable machine, and they kind of thought of any way to do that you would need to service. They've given you access to it, which is nice. All right, so if you're wondering on pricing, guys, I bought this machine used at about 420 some hours, because I just wasn't gonna buy a new one for my purposes. But I think if you want to buy a new one of these, they'll run you anywhere from like $18,000 to $20,000, which is a hefty price for a mower. You know, it's a very interesting, I'll say it's a very niche market, right? If you're a commercial mower, if you're a commercial lawn person and you're mowing all the time and you need to mow big fields and stuff like that, this is probably a good option for you. If you're a homeowner like me that has a lot of acreage to cut and you want to do it fast, again, probably another option. Me personally bought it used, got a great discount, paid about half of what a new one is. So I had to jump on it because at 400 hours, I mean, that's really nothing. It didn't even really meet the status for the first oil change yet. It has been done, but didn't even get to 500 hours yet. So I mean, this thing is practically like new. Alrighty guys, I hope you enjoyed the review. I really love the ISX3300. If you have questions about it, feel free to drop them down in the comments below. Also like the video if it helped you, and subscribe to the channel if you like automotive things, reviews, and things like this. I try to do them fairly often when I have a product or a item that I really enjoy and want to share with you guys. So let me know. If you have one of these, also share your experience in the comments. Let me know what you think of it. Again, if you're having any issues, questions, concerns, things like that, let me know. Or if you just love the machine, drop those down below too. I would like to hear it. Always like interacting with you guys. That's about it for today, guys. We'll see you next time. And always remember to get out there, do it yourself.